you've signed up for Kootenay Faith Fest, registered, and here it's in this Whova platform and you're not sure what to do. This is the video for you. My name is Allan Buckingham, and I'm going to be walking you through how to get into Whova to make sure you get the best experience for Kootenay Faith Fest possible. This video is about working with a mobile device. If you want to connect into Faith Fest on a computer, absolutely possible, easy to do as well. Did a different video for that, so you're going to want to check out that video. If you're wanting to use your mobile device instead or as well, because you can use both and switch back and forth as often and whatever you want depending on your needs at that time, this is the video for you. We're going to be going through how to get into Whova and how to use Whova on your mobile device, be that a tablet or a smartphone. I'm going to be taking you through on an Android device, but it's pretty similar if you're on an Apple device as well. The first and most important thing is either you follow a link that Whova sent or we've sent from Kootenay Faith Fest and go to your app store and install the Whova app, and W-H-O-V-A. And that's gonna get you step one, is you want to get that done. So be that the App Store or Google Play, you can just search for Whova. You can see the name right here, W-H-O-V-A, and you'll get the app installed. That's step one. Once you're in, if you haven't already signed up for Whova on a desktop or your mobile device before, you're gonna need to do that. Either way though, we're gonna hit the sign up or sign in button once we've opened the Whova app. And then you can sign up or sign in with Facebook or LinkedIn, or you can use an email address. And if you use the email address you registered for Kootenay Faith Fest with, that'll be the easiest because that's the one that's connected to your account. If you want to sign up with a social media account that happens to use a different email address, not a problem. Just be in touch with us once you're through. It's going to ask you, it's not going to find Kootenay Faith Fest for you right away because the email address is different. So you're going to have to search for it, and then it'll ask you for a little code. Just be in touch with us and we'll make sure you get that. So once you've signed up, you just type in your email and continue to sign in. I signed up with Facebook here, so I'm just going to click sign in with Facebook. And it'll take me to my list of events, because I have more than one. If you don't, it'll just take you right in to your event. I believe in click Kootenay Faith Fest either way if you need to. And here you are, and this is kind of the foyer, the lobby for Kootenay Faith Fest. So you can see some of the additional resources we might want at the top there. An event description, and if you want more information on the event, click more information. And it is worth doing once in a while. We're going to put some videos in there, probably some other interesting information. Nothing that's super important that matters, just some extra add-ons here and there. So it might be worth clicking through and seeing what's going on in that event description thing every once in a while. And then at the bottom is your key menu. So you've got home, which is where we are now, agenda, attendees, community, and messages. So I'm going to click that agenda button along the bottom, and it's going to take us to the agenda for the event. Along the top, it will say the days, and they're a little darker than the rest, so the days that Faith Fest is going on. And it should say along the top as well, you can see in mine it says displaying agenda in my time zone. Kootenay Faith Fest is taking place virtually in Fernie. That's where the in-person was scheduled for. And so we've put the time zone as Fernie's time zone, which is mountain time. If you're not in the mountain time zone, the times are going to be a little off for you potentially, but you should get the option where it says in mine displaying in your time zone, I'm in the mountain time zone. It should give you the option to switch to your time zone. So if you're in Pacific time, it'll bump everything up an hour. If you're in Eastern time or in Atlantic time, like our speaker Dave is, he can just hit that and it'll show everything in his time zone. So you can customize it to yourself, or if you want to keep it in mountain time and pretend you're in Fernie the whole time, sleep differently, wake up differently, be in Fernie, you can do that too. And when you want to go to a session, you just click into the session. So Wednesday's sessions are all pre-recorded. It's just some info. Dave's first session actually is in there too, but you can watch it whenever you want, Wednesday or Thursday. It's just there for you to see on your own time. And all the stuff, the 2 things here on Wednesday are like that. And I'm going to use Dave's first session because it's the one I have the most information in right now as my example as well. So I'm just going to click on it. Gives me a little bit more information here. You can see near the top there it says add to my agenda if I want, and if I click that it'll add it to my agenda within Whova, but it'll also ask if I want to add it to my phone's calendar as well, or my tablet's calendar, or my mobile device's calendar, and I can add it in there as well. And you can see a session overview, and it doesn't show a lot of information on the mobile device, so you might want to click on the see more to get a little more information about that session. You can see down at the bottom the chat for the session, as well as a little bit about Dave, and you can click in on that and get more information as well for his full profile. The important part to enter the session. For this one, because it's recorded, it says recorded video. And below that it says watch on desktop, which is totally cool. If you want to do that, click that. It'll just give you a link that you can send to yourself. So you can click through and open Whova for your computer and enter in that way. And if you need help getting into Whova on your computer, there's a separate video for that. But basically, the email address and password you use to set up Whova on your mobile device is what you're going to use on the desktop version. If you link to the social account to sign up that first time, you won't have a password for Whova, so just click forgot password and you can set one up that way. Right now I'm going to click recorded video and get into the session itself. So up at the top here it says the session doesn't open until just beforehand on the 23rd. That's so we can all do it together, and the sessions will all say that at the top. But that bit at the top there, that's where the video will be. So if it's a pre-record, you'll just hit play and it'll play the video right off. And if it's a different kind of session, likely a Zoom session that we're going to be meeting together in, you'll need to click in to join the meeting. You might want to join with your phone audio or call audio, it says sometimes, or audio in some way. You want to join the audio. It usually asks that as a separate thing on a mobile, so you want to go in. It is possible that it could want to phone you for audio if you have a phone, but my tablet asks me to call in for audio just to hear it. So it's kind of weird, but click what you think makes sense. Try it out. You can't break it. Don't worry. And then next time you can just exit and come back in and try something different if it didn't work the first time. And so just below that video bit, it'll say session Q&A and chat. And the one that's white is the one that's selected. So right now I'm in the session Q&A, and if I click over to chat, it will show me the chat. The session hasn't started, there's nothing there. But that's a place we can have a conversation during a session or ask some questions as well, and you can thumbs up the questions to see if that's, or to indicate that that's a question you're more interested in getting asked as well. And we can do all of that right here within Whova, and then the chat and the Q&As stay afterwards as well. So it stays in here and we can access it and see what the conversation was for the next weeks and months after the event, and we'll get a recording of the session if it's not a pre-record in here as well, so you can come back and take a look at stuff. So that all happens right here within this session section. So I'm going to click the arrow to go back up at the top here. So this is my session again, and you can see here it's got the chat at the bottom if you wanted, and it's got the Q&A available as well, and a place for you to take notes if you were in a live session. It's a little harder to watch it on a live session and come back to this screen if you only have one device, but if you're watching on a desktop, I want to take some notes in the session on your mobile, and you can do that. So I've gone back to the full agenda, and I'm just going to go into Thursday and Friday so you can kind of see Saturday, what's going on, Sunday. So all of the events are put in here, and you can just click in to your session when you're ready for it, and it will be there and available for you, which is great. And now I'm going to go along that bottom menu again. We're going to look at attendees. So this is just a list of all the folks registered for Kootenay Faith Fest. So you can click on somebody, learn a little bit more about them. You can say hi or message or suggest that you have a meetup. I can just click on the side to say hi if I want. And in some ways, this is kind of like looking through here. It's like walking down the hall or sitting before a session and seeing somebody over there and being like, oh, it's Tressa, or oh, it's Judy Cameron, and I haven't seen them in a while. I used to see them all the time at this meeting. I should say hi, and so just click say hi, and it'll pop up a little message for you, and you can send that, or you can change that and send something else, or you can click into the person's name and send them a message, and type whatever you want. And you can add more folks to a group as well and send a group message. That's a great way to do some of that connecting that these events are so great for, and that is really often difficult on a virtual event when you're just joining a meeting and hearing a speaker and you don't have that time to interact. With Whova, we're hoping you'll take the opportunity to interact with each other. Another way you can do that interaction is if you click into the community option. If you don't do the icebreaker right away on your mobile, it keeps asking, but you can always skip it if you want. And then it gives you a list of discussions that are already going on. And if you want to add something along the bottom here, it says add a topic or social group, and you can add a new topic and start a discussion. So it's another way to interact with folks, learn about other people, what they're doing, what's going on in the lives of the attendees. So the theme is small and mighty, right? And we're talking about how to be a small church or a single church in a small town, and why that's such a great opportunity. And so the folks here are going to be in a similar space. So ask questions. How does Sunday school work for you folks? What are you doing with worshiping in person or not right now? Lots of conversations we can start. So this is a great place to do it. Another option would be find in the list here meetups and virtual meets. And if you click in on that, at the bottom it says suggest a meetup. So there already is one suggested. It's going on before the event. So if you happen to watch this before the time scheduled on a Monday morning, then you could attend that meetup. Otherwise, click on the bottom, suggest a meetup. I suggest a virtual one. And you put in a title, a description, date, time, duration, and you can do it in Whova's virtual meet rooms. So you don't even need to have any your own Zoom account or anything like that. You can just do it within Whova. Up to 30 people can get together and have a conversation. But it is possible to link it to a Zoom account as well if you'd rather do it that way. And then you just post it and folks can come and join your meetup. There's going to be a time in the schedule on Friday and Saturday afternoon where we're going to encourage folks to set up some meetups and visit some of these meetups, and you can go in and out and check the different ones that are going on. But that connection part we're really trying to foster at Faith Fest, and so we're going to set a time that's dedicated so that we can do that. But you can do it whenever as well. You can have a 8 a.m. coffee meetup. You could have a let's get together for supper meetup. Pretend you've gone through the buffet line, bring your plate in front of you at your computer or your mobile device. You can set up anywhere, right? So you have the opportunity to chat with folks around a meal. Just make sure you mute yourself while you're eating, or if you're not talking, because otherwise it'd be really loud and maybe gross. Who knows what sounds get picked up as we're eating. But really, the encouragement is there to do some of that, because that's, again, it's one of the great things about going to a conference is sitting around and eating with folks. So why not set that up and just, have a chat over a meal. It could be super fun. And so the last option along the bottom here is messages. And this is where I've had a bunch of events, so I've got all kinds of messages in there. But that's, if you get a message, it'll indicate, kind of like my community says 37, with a, red dot. And the messages will let you know if you have messages as well. I'm going to go back to the home page. It wants me to look at the leaderboard and the photos. That's why it's got the dot. So if I click in on photos, I can see photos other people have already added into the event at different places. On the right hand side there, and I can look at the speakers as well. On the left hand side, videos that are already uploaded, you can see some of those. Those right now are videos from the exhibition hall, which is the next one. You can click exhibitors and you can get to our virtual exhibition hall. And so the communities of faith within the Kootenay region, Kootenay Rocky region, maybe, I don't know, Banff's in here too, and some of the other ministries within Pacific Mountain that minister in the Kootenays, like Leadership and the First Third Ministry for the Pacific Mountain region, have some pages, and you can just click in here, get some more information about them. Some of the communities of faith have put in videos as well. You can watch a video, see some pictures. It's a super great way to get to know what's going on at some of these other communities of faith in the Kootenays. It is Kootenay Faith Fest after all. It's worth taking a look. You got a Whova guide there as well. Feel free to explore and see the different things available. And for each session, this is where you need to come. Open the app, hit that agenda button, find the day of the week that it is, hit your session, away we go. It's like showing up at your event when you get up in the morning, you want to walk over to where the venue is, the United Church in Fernie. We can pretend that's it. Open Whova, here you are, the United Church in Fernie. Well, I hope you got some value out of that. I hope you've explored a little bit within Whova as well now. If you have more questions, absolutely feel free to be in touch. We really want to make sure that it works for you and help you out as best we can. So please get in touch with us as you need. Thursday afternoon, I'm also running a Q&A session. So if you have a question, you want some more information, or just that one thing isn't making sense, or you couldn't even quite get in, stop by the Q&A session. You should be getting a Zoom link for that as well if you couldn't get in, but hopefully this video's helped you get in, and you should be good to go within Whova. Really looking forward to seeing you at Kootenay Faith Fest. It's going to be a blast. The speakers are really exciting. My community of faith is that small church in a small town. I'm really looking forward to hearing what some of the options are and the different ways that we can expand our ministry in this place. So I hope you are too. Looking forward to seeing you all at Kootenay Faith Fest.